Yo, welcome to the Women's Basketball Lounge podcast. Grab a drink, grab a cigar, grab whatever your festivities are, and let's go.
Episode 12. Episode 12.
It's a party. It's a party.
We done made it into the double digits. We in here like swim well.
We are. Welcome back.
How was your week? 2 weeks.
It's been a good past 2 weeks. It's been busy. I've been traveling, spent some time out in Austin and San Antonio, and which I know is your neck of the woods. So, I was out there for work, but got to also mix some fun stuff in there. So that was cool. But yeah, just busy.
That's always nice. That's always nice. Well, I've been, it's kind of downtime. So, we're at the end of high school basketball for girls. So we wrapping up. So I'm kind of on my, how you say, where's my vacation? Where? Mm-hmm. So I've been catching a lot of college games, which we're going to talk about. So, but let's get into it. We have a special guest coming on. She is my heart, my everything. She's actually my mentor, one of my many mentors. Like if you in any business, always get you a mentor, get you multiple mentors, people that got your back, that you trust, that's loyal, that's just about you. And this person here has been about me and have loved me since I was 16 years old. So that's how long she's been knowing me. I knew this lady first in San Antonio, trying out for Sophia Young Elite. I played for the very first legacy team for Sophia Young Elite when the Aces was the Silver Stars in San Antonio. When Sophia Young played for the Silver Stars, Becky Hammond was on that team. That was a badass team. Excuse my French, but we won championships before Vegas was even in the picture. So yeah, she was my AAU coach and was working with the Silver Stars. We're going to get into a lot of her background, but she has coached at every level from college to high school. She has dealt with professionals. She's dealt with college players. She's done it all. And now she has moved into, not just recently, but she's been in the game for years and years of strength and muscle recovery, in which she's done muscle recovery for college players, top elite high school players, as well as, professional players. And I'm going to let her name drop once I interview her, and brag a little bit about who she has done muscle recovery for and help people get back on the court. Because we talk about all the time about how great these players are, but sometimes we need to reflect on the behind the scenes of who the people are that put the players on the court to make them great. So everybody give it up for Coach Robyn Gray.
Ooh.
Coach Robyn. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you for having me, ladies. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Like, where we talk about like where you from, and how you fell in love with the game of basketball.
Okay. So my name is Coach Robyn Gray, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas.
Hey.
Who do you?
And born and raised there and lived there for quite a while. One of 7 or 8 children, 7 brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
Played basketball at the University of Texas at San Antonio. And my journey has just been amazing and has been blessed and is definitely my calling. Working with young women, coaching. I fell in love with the game at an early age because my entire family are athletes. And even though I got cut from the basketball team in 7th grade, that did not deter me from becoming my own legend in my own right.
Okay. So how did you fall in love with the game of basketball? If you got cut, like what made you come back? How did you fall in love?
Okay, so first of all, I couldn't just go home. My mom put us in every sport possible so that we would stay out of trouble, growing up in the projects in San Antonio. It was called the Victoria Courts at the time, located right across the street from the Institute of Texan Culture. And, we call it the Barrios. This is Spanish projects. And we were in some type of sport activity. It wasn't optional, right? So we had to have grades and we had to be athletic. That kept us busy, kept us understanding losing, winning, sportsmanship, working well with others. And when things don't go your way, how to push through that adversity. And the way I fell in love with it is just my oldest sister was very successful at playing basketball. Her name is Sonia Gray. But, she played and actually went on to play in Germany. But you got to remember, so I'm going to give you my age here, which I don't mind because I look good. But I was born in 1971. So now if my sister played basketball prior to me, mind you, she's the first one. I'm 8. So she's playing in the 60s, early 60s.
Wow.
Playing. So she had to experience that of, hey, I'm playing basketball, but I can't come through the front door still. Yeah. So whether you realize that or not, that's the legacy of my family and how I fell in love with the game is watching her play, watching my brother play, then watching my other sister play. And then we all went to the same school. So I had to play. It was not optional. I had to play. And then one of my favorite players growing up, actually at the time, was, of course, from San Antonio, Iceman, Urban, the Big 4-4. So, I was inspired. And so that's how I fell in love with the game. And I wasn't very skilled when I first started, but I just said, I was fast and I knew I could make something happen in this sport. So that's how I fell in love with it. Just watching my sisters and Gervin, oh yeah, Iceman.
That's funny you say this about, your sister and growing up in those times, because one of my questions for you, in this process is I was like, what are the differences you see now versus when you were playing, because we get a lot of, people, a lot of millennials, all, people in their 30s, 40s, but, not saying your age, but it's always cool to kind of, listen to somebody that actually play ball when there wasn't a W. The W didn't even exist. Like me, I'm complaining about, well, the W wasn't, I didn't play because the W wasn't up to par. People were making $40,000, but I'm sure a player like you probably would have even been grateful for that, because y'all didn't even have the W. So talk about just as far as your sister, now versus back in the day.
Yeah, so the W began in 1997, and I literally graduated college in 1997. So when I got done playing, it wasn't even a thought for me to go to the W at the time. And the difference from now till then is I really believe the athletes then were just raw. They were hungry. They had something to prove, and they had a lot of grit and tenacity. And players today do have some of those traits, especially when you look at a Rakia Jackson, an Angel Reese, and definitely a Kennedy. They have those same intestinal things that we had back then, but not back then. I would say 95% of us really went outside and played with no rim,
concrete.
We played on concrete. We had Converse that was probably holes in our shoes. We had cuts on our knees. We didn't care. We were rough. We were tough, but we were still ladies at the time, and we could just flat out hoop. We liked the. Some of these ladies today, the difference is they are a lot more skilled. I will say a lot more versatile, I will say, compared to some of us back in the day. Back in the day, that sounds crazy.
So what would you rather have, skill or passion? Because it seemed like one, I'm not saying you're saying this, but it does seem to me, I think we all can agree, Mick throw a thumbs up, Robyn throw a thumbs up to this, is that, you know, those older generation players in women's sports had more passion. Like, you ain't getting paid for this. Like, they had more passion. And now we have more skill. Which would you rather, passion or skill? I mean, you can't say both, you know? You got to pick one. You got to pick one. You got to pick one.
I'm going to go with passion. I'm going to go with passion because to me, your passion creates your purpose. And when you're passionate about something, you become relentless in that space. And that relentlessness turns into W's, turns into victories, turns into getting some defensive stops, turns into I'm gonna get to the cup. So I'm gonna go with passion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Mick?
I take the passion if the passion is also with work ethic. Because, I mean, I feel like there are some people who are passionate and then won't do anything. Like but I don't know. Is that being passionate? Either way, I take passion over skill any day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because I believe that's what's wrong with South Carolina right now. They have lost their passion the last 2 games. But we're going to talk about that. Let's just hold off. On that. Okay. Wait a good 30 more minutes into the podcast, into the show. We're going to talk about that. But Robyn, as we're wrapping up, talk to us about your sports recovery business, Gray Fit Training, and what you do as an entrepreneur. Yes, with the shirt.
So thank you for mentioning that. I was in the corporate America for a few years here in Dallas, and then I just said enough's enough. You know, I've been in sports my entire life. I opened up a 90,000 square foot multi-sport facility in Virginia, Northern Virginia. It wasn't extremely successful because I had to leave and come home and take care of my father. But at the end of the day, I opened up Gray Fit Training and Recovery because I kept seeing young girls at an early age, before they even got to high school, tear up their knees. Like ACLs were just being torn left and right. And I'm like, what is going on? And that really bothered me that these young girls didn't stand a chance before they even got a great opportunity to even play varsity basketball. So I wanted to do something about that. And also the mentorship that would come along with it. So I opened up my own company. I started with a few dollars, maybe 2 nickels and a dime, and just built it from the ground up, literally built it from the ground up. No initial, no seed funding, no angel funding. It was Robyn Gray funding. And I've never, ever used my last name before, which is Gray. Everybody always calls me Coach Robyn. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to use this name. So I just came up with Gray Fit Training. And it started out as just Gray Fit Training. I wanted to do speed and agility work. I really wanted to work on stabilization with young ladies' knees, shoulders, and their hips especially. And that's how I started. One of my first clients in the DFW area was Jordan Oliver, who's now finishing her 5th year at Vanderbilt. And she is just killing it. And I'll never forget when I first started my company, I literally only had her and one other client, Mallory Adams, who I just saw this past couple of days ago at the SMU alumni game. And those 2 young ladies really fueled me to do what I love to do. And I only had those 2 clients for quite some time. And then word of mouth, right? Started trickling in. Carmel Oliver was one of the smarter parents at an early age and knew that, hey, middle school basketball was just not going to do anything for her child because her skill level was just so far up there. So she said, Coach, you know what? Everybody we talk to on the recruiting scene tells us we need to be in the weight room. So her daughter trained with me her entire 8th grade year. She trained with me, getting stronger, getting faster, and did private lessons for basketball skills. And that's all she did. She didn't play middle school basketball. And look at that. Her 8th grade year, she ended up committing to Baylor University because she was so strong. Her giganormous. So they knew that she would be able to be a powerhouse, 4 years later, which is crazy to me. And so that's how I got started. And now I've expanded, I've grown. I have 12 employees. I added muscle recovery about 7 years into my business. I've been in business for 10 years, almost 11 years now. And I added the muscle recovery because it was very important to me that these athletes could get a one-stop shop. They could come to conditioning, speed, and agility, and then I can also fix them, right? Hey, they have an ankle injury or the knees really hurting when they jump. They don't know why. So let's fix those ligaments. Let's fix those joints. Let's get the mobility a lot better, especially in the hips and ankles. And hey, I've never looked back since. Haven't looked back since.
Yes. So let's talk about like who have you worked on that you could kind of toot your horn a little bit.
Wow, man, I've been very, very blessed and fortunate to work on a lot of athletes. So I started out here. I actually was able to work with Mo Williams. This was when I first got to Dallas. And I worked with Mo Williams. And then during some of his camps that he used to run, we had Draymond Green, we had Raymond Felton. So these are like old head players, right? I had an opportunity to work with those young men, keep them healthy, keep them on the court. But in more recent times, I've had an opportunity to work with Bronny James, which is just by being at the right place at the right time and knowing exactly what to do with what he was experiencing at the time. And then the entire Strive for Greatness organization through LeBron James. It was amazing working with those young fellas or big fellas, I should say. And then also being able to work on the king himself, the number one player in my eyes in the country, and the number one player today in the country, and being able to provide services for LeBron himself. Now, you don't see me boasting about that or, doing a whole lot because that's just who I am. But on the female side, I was very fortunate to work with Athletes Unlimited. They're volleyball and pro basketball players, and had a chance to work with everyone from Sydney Colson to Izzy Harrison to Natasha Cloud. So it's been good working with these athletes and players, and the list goes on, but we can talk about that on another day.
Right. Okay. And this is like my last question. And I think you kind of said it, like, who's the most famous person in your phone right now?
That would be LeBron. He's my most famous person.
Okay, gotcha. And do you have a most?
Hold on.
Huh?
I'm kidding. I was like, let me double check. But no, it would be LeBron.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that sums it up. I thank you for this interview and everything like that. We're going to move on to like a little fun game. We're going to have like a little fun segment on how and see how you and Mick know your facts. It's Black History Month. We're wrapping up Black History Month. So we're talking about Black history facts in women's basketball.
Yay! Black, blackity, black.
Black. So, first person to blurt out the answer. Okay. First person to blurt it out. We just gonna go old school. We ain't raising hands. We blurting out. All right. So y'all ready for question one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So there's gonna be 6 questions. I'm leaving the 6th question as 2 bonus points. Each point is gonna be 1 point. Okay. So first Black coach to win the NCAA championship.
Vivian Stringer.
No.
Oh.
I'm gonna just say Don
Mick,
Staley.
No. Oh my gosh.
The first Black coach.
I don't know.
First Black coach to win the NCAA championship is Carolyn Peck, people.
Oh,
Carolyn Peck.
Yes.
Carolyn Peck.
Yes.
Come on.
I know that. I knew that.
0-0.
I didn't know that.
Question 2. Okay, y'all ready? Be ready for this. First HBCU to reach the Final Four.
First HBCU to reach the Final Four.
First women's basketball Final Four.
Hampton?
Is that your answer?
I'm gonna go with Hampton University, but I don't think that's the right answer.
Mick?
Okay, so question. Is it a trick question? Is it a school that wasn't HBU and then wasn't anymore?
No. This school was still an HBCU and still is an HBCU. First HBCU.
I'm gonna say Tennessee State.
Oh my gosh, y'all! Cheney State with Vivian Stringer.
So my answer was right. The previous one.
Yeah. Vivian Stringer led the Cheney State in 1982, 1984 to the first NCAA championship for HBCUs. They didn't win because Kim Mulkey and Louisiana Tech beat them in the championship, but they got there to the Final Four. Cheney State with Vivian Stringer.
I need to redeem myself. I'm doing terrible at this game.
0. Question. Question 3. Okay, y'all better get this one. If y'all don't get this one,
do we get lifelines? Can I phone a friend?
Can I ask you?
No. No, we cannot. Y'all better not turn on Siri.
Okay, come on.
All right. First league MVP in the WNBA.
Cheryl Swoops.
Mick?
I'm going to agree with Cheryl Swoops.
Wrong again.
Oh, no.
Cooper.
I said, or was it Coop? I just asked, or was it Coop? Because, Cynthia Coop is bad. You're talking about passion or Cynthia Coop had both. So she the real deal.
It was Cynthia Cooper, y'all.
Do I get
both
a half
y'all got it
wrong? I came back at the end.
I already had said it. Y'all could. We got 3 more questions left. Y'all better.
Mick, we got to get it together, girl. Come on.
We on it. We got it.
Come on, we got
3 more questions left. Lord, y'all better get this one right. Like for real.
Okay.
For real.
Okay. Come on.
First female basketball player with a shoe.
Ooh, that's Cheryl Swoops.
Mick?
I'm going through my mind because I don't want to be wrong.
You better not be going too serious.
I'll let down all the black people in the world if I'm wrong right now.
My answer is right.
All right.
She was
I'm going to say Cheryl Swoops. Yeah.
Yes, Cheryl Swoops is right. Cheryl Swoops is right.
Her shoe, just so you know, I had the blue and white ones with the bubbles on the bottom. Yes.
Oh my God. Imagine if you would have kept those.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
dang.
in today?
Yeah.
Yeah, you messed up. Yeah, you messed up.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess y'all both get a point. Robyn, you can't say you're right before Mick gives an answer. We got to let you both give an answer before. Okay. So
but she didn't believe I was right.
I was going to say, I wasn't, you know what I mean? I was trying to make sure.
Look, this is Family Feud all over again. All right. Question 5. We have 1-1. What head black coach has the most women's basketball NCAA championships?
Ooh.
The most.
Oh, duh. Who asked my answer? Dawn Staley.
Mick?
Dawn Staley.
Okay, she got me.
No, I was thinking Dawn Staley. I really was thinking Dawn Staley.
She's now and later in me. She's now. You know that old.
I'm not copying off your paper. I'm not copying off your paper.
Get paper, and we're gonna have to raise it up at the same time next time.
All right, cool.
All right, this last question is worth 2 points. All right. Okay. So if y'all get this right, like y'all the GOATs. We might end in a tie. First player in women's basketball to dunk in the NCAA. NCAA, not WNBA. First player to dunk in the NCAA.
Ooh.
And I'll give you a hint.
I know the school.
You better not. No, hold on.
Okay.
You better not say Candace Parker.
No, it's not her.
Okay. We're going to let Mick go first.
I know the answer. Ooh, I know that. Ooh, come on, Mick. My answer right. I know the answer.
First player in the women's basketball NCAA to dunk
Come on.
in a game.
Come on. You know the girl name. Come on. Now watch, I'm wrong. I'm going to laugh.
There's a name I want to say, but.
Oh, or you can even I'll even allow you to give the school if you don't know the name.
Nah, I'm just afraid somebody did it before her and I can't remember that it happened.
Come on. 20 seconds. We got to get through the show.
I don't know. I'm going to not have an answer.
You're not? Okay, Robyn. Coach Robyn. What is it?
Snow. Michelle Snow.
Girl. No, I'm sorry, Robyn. You was... Yeah, Robyn, you can Google it right now. It's actually a lady named Georgine Wells out of West Virginia in 1984. She is actually in the Naismith exhibit in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. They had a luncheon for her, and she is in the Naismith exhibit currently right now as acknowledging her as the first basketball player to dunk in a game.
Hey, you got to give us multiple choice next time.
I thought it was Michelle.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give y'all multiple choice next time.
Hey, who did you say? Did you say a name?
She ain't say no name.
Because the name I was gonna say, I figured it was wrong. I figured somebody had did it before her, so I was like, I'm gonna take the L.
Well, I knew it wasn't Candace, but I thought it was Michelle. But bruh, dang.
The first dunk was 1984. It's crazy. We've been athletic.
I was
good.
I'm like, 1984 wasn't that long ago. That was just a year before I was born.
84?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like a freshman in high school.
Yeah. But that's crazy because people think that women just started dunking with Candace Parker, Lisa Leslie. People think Lisa Leslie was the first, but
Lisa Leslie is the name I was going to say. But I was like, I feel like somebody may have done it before her.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but y'all tried. Good job. Good job. Oof. Good job. It was hard.
That was hard. That was
very hard.
Those are good. I bet I know the answers now.
But y'all got I will say, just to wrap it up, like, I was a little disappointed in y'all in the league's first MVP, Cynthia Cooper. Like, come on, that was a gimme. And then Robyn, you come out saying Vivian Stringer won the first NCAA championship, get it wrong, and then you don't know they the first HBCU. I was like, come on now.
Not you berating us. the Black History Month.
Hey,
look, when you played your game, Mick, 2 weeks ago and I failed,
I was gentle. I was kind.
It's water off a duck's back. We good. We good.
We good.
She didn't know half that stuff either before she looked it up today. So,
Oh, man. Well, let's get into some segment stuff, some hot topics, Mick. Go ahead and take us away.
Let's do it. First things first. Unrivaled one-on-ones were, sheesh. Let me say that again. Unrivaled one-on-ones was this past week.
Yes.
Yeah. Did y'all watch?
Half of it.
Okay.
I watch. I was texting you, Mick, like, what the hell is going on with Jackie Young? Like, for me, this one-on-one stuff can either help you get a bigger check, or it can really expose you.
It really can.
Because ain't nobody there to help you.
It really can. I think in Jackie's situation, though, like, there's an injury there. She probably shouldn't have been playing anyway. But I'm with you. I was surprised at a lot of the results. I was surprised that Ray Burrell beating Jewel Lloyd. That surprised me.
Very much so.
Yeah. I was surprised at the what other matchup was it?
Aaliyah Edwards beating Breonna Stewart.
I was surprised Aaliyah Edwards went as hard as she did. And I was going to point that out, actually. I think the one-on-ones served nobody if they didn't serve Aaliyah Edwards. Because I feel like we got to see her shine in a way that we don't get to see normally in the season.
I became a fan.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really a fan of UConn. So I was like, and then she plays for the Mystics. So I was like, okay, she a big post, but I thought she was, she was the AC. So I was like, oh, this girl, she really can hoop. She like crossed over, I was like, okay. So yeah, I became a Leah Edwards fan for sure.
I definitely wasn't expecting her to win against Breonna Stewart. That's crazy to me.
Well, see, you say that, but I don't. Now, mind you, Breonna Stewart, the girl can flat out play.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes back to the OG girls and hooping, and Aaliyah Edwards got that dog in her.
Passion.
And Breonna Stewart is skilled. But Edwards is passionate and skilled, and the passion and skill won.
Ooh. Okay. Coming back full circle.
Yeah.
What about that? You know what was passion and skill? Did y'all both get to watch not Natasha Howard. Who is it that played for Atlanta? Howard. Last name Howard. First
Ryan
name.
Howard?
I'm having a brain.
Ryan,
yes. Ryan Howard versus Courtney Williams. Did y'all see that?
I did.
No, I didn't see that. Tell me what happened.
Oh, no. Okay. Who do you think won? Who you think won out of Ryan Howard and Courtney Williams?
So now I'm going to just say what I think, as I don't know who won. I have no idea. Ryan Howard should have won, but Courtney Williams is a dog, and so I'm going to say Courtney won.
Courtney won. Because of what?
Passion, baby. Courtney is a thug dog.
Yeah.
On the court.
But Mig, talk to us about like Ryan. I keep calling the girl Natasha. Talk about Ryan Howard's like play like in that game.
So okay, it was just to me sort of lackluster, like uninterested a little bit. But I got that vibe from a lot of them. It seemed like some of the more veteran players were they seemed a lot less interested. You know what I mean? To say it like that. So because it was a seed, I think Courtney Williams is a 6 seed. Ryan Howard is a 2 seed. So technically in Unrivaled, this was an upset.
Right.
But yeah, Courtney pulled it off. She went up against Natasha Collier. Natasha Collier won that matchup and went on to win the whole thing.
Hey, I want to be Natasha Collier right now. Create my own league and then make the jackpot in my own league that I created.
It is textbook. If you can't get a seat at the table, become the table. Like
we say it all the time as Black entrepreneurs. We gonna create our own table.
Yeah, I mean, she created it and then came in and won the pot.
And
that's crazy.
It was fair. She dug in. But I will say this, Natasha Fees is like, this is the first year that I've heard and seen so much from her as a player. I didn't realize she was that bad. Like, bad is in a good way. Like, that girl is bad. Like, come on now. She's got class. She's got grit, tenacity. She doesn't show any, even when things don't go the right way for her on the court or calls her back, she doesn't get hood with it. She's very classy about it. And she got a little fight in her. I've seen her get a little, but it's just something about her aura that is a great representation for women basketball players.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a chance to watch the Skylar Diggins Smith and Arike matchup?
Man. Oh man.
Now,
did you, Robyn?
Yes. Now listen, Skylar is like, she just got something about her that she's like, I don't care who on the court.
Yeah.
I'm handling my business today. And that's
she got that MJ mentality.
Yes. Hey, that's that Kobe. That's the Mamba.
And she's quick. She's quick. And this league is showing that off so crazy. Like, she quick anyway. I mean, she quick on PS5. Her player is just like insane. I'm like, is she that quick? But yeah, like Unrivaled is highlighting that in a way that I feel like we don't get to see as much in the W.
And how old is she? She's a veteran. Like, how old is she? And she's still this quick. Like, she gotta be what, 35? Pushing it? I don't know.
I think so. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, like she been in this game and still has not slowed down. Like, still has not slowed down. Older than Chelsea Gray, older than all of. Like, she may be one of the oldest people in the W now that Candace Parker is gone. And I mean, the only person left is like Tina Charles. You know, that's probably the oldest, but she up there.
And DT still in? Because I don't be knowing.
Oh yeah, DT. Yeah, DT. Look,
I don't even know what's going on with DT.
We not even gonna talk about it. But
yeah, I was surprised she won that matchup with Arike. I mean, I was surprised Arike won. Excuse me.
Why? Yeah. Arike is a dog. What are you talking about?
I'm surprised Arike won because Arike is real casual. But Arike, I mean, she got a lot of great moves, but I didn't think. Y'all know, I mean, no offense, Arike, I love you, but she don't play no defense.
Yeah.
So Skylar could have exposed her a little bit more on that. Arike got a little bit of size on her, but, you know, Arike hit a couple of big shots.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what it came down to is size.
Yeah.
Like, should the 1v1 be split into guard play and post play? Because at the end of the day, the semifinals and the finals was full of posts.
No. It can't be about size, no ma'am. When we go to the park,
because all Nafisa call you
what
did
I was gonna say.
What? Go ahead, Robyn. Go ahead.
No, it's basketball. You can hoop. I don't care who you playing against, what position, what size. It don't matter. I feel like
when you playing 1-on-1, like if you're gonna be that raw, like to play 1-on-1, like then you gotta be like back street hood with it. Like it don't matter the size. You're gonna find a way to win. Because if you got it, you can find a way to win against anybody, any size.
Right. Okay. So Arike, right, in the semifinals. Let's talk about it. Who did she play in the semifinals? Y'all know? Y'all remember?
Now who?
Aaliyah Edwards. You mean to tell me Arike Ogumawale lose to Aaliyah Edwards? I get the passion versus skill thing and all that, but come on now. Like, all Aaliyah Edwards did was post Arike up. Like, she just dribbled the ball down.
I mean, she did the fundamentals really well. Yeah.
You know, fundamental. So it was like, you know, like that was kind of like Aaliyah Edwards beating Arike 1-on-1. Like, come on now, y'all.
Yeah,
come
but
on.
then Arike,
I gotta be devil's advocate.
If Arike is that skilled, pull when she get the ball, pull her out. Use your speed, go by her, or use your quick shot and throw that thing up like you do in the WNBA, and throw up a Hail Mary and hit some threes.
I feel like
Arike got gassed.
I almost feel like she defended her too closely. Like, I feel like she needed to give it a little more space, and she probably could have been a better defender against her. I feel like she was like right on top of her, and that worked against her.
Yeah, like Robyn said, I mean, Arike don't play no defense, so I don't know why. Even the sports announcer said, Mick, like, why is she playing so close to Aaliyah Edwards, like trying to get the steal? Yeah. No, you should have backed up. You knew she wanted to come to the paint, make her shoot. Yeah, make her shoot them long shots. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. Nafisa Collier with the dub got the $200K and creating her own league. But let's talk about, continuing on, like another sports announcer in Unrivaled. Let's talk about Black women coaches in the WNBA. Like, that's been going viral. Lisa Leslie had an interview with Angel Reese. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Go ahead, Mick. Give your little.
Well, I didn't see all of it, so you could go for it. I saw the Teresa Weatherspoon interview.
Okay, I'll let you hit on that one. Okay, so Lisa Leslie had an interview with Angel Reese, right? On Angel Reese's podcast, and she basically said that she interviewed for two, not one, but two WNBA teams.
Yep.
And she did not get hired for neither. Mind you, I'm looking at all these WNBA teams and I'm seeing who they hired. We have one female Black head coach left.
Yep.
Seattle Storm, Coach Quinn. Okay. Lisa Leslie said, and I truly believe this with every bone in my body. She said she looked at who these people hired and her resume is 3 times better than every one of the coaches, both teams of the person that's sitting in that head coach seat. She said, I will never, what saddens me most is she said, I will never interview for a head coach job in the W again. That saddens me. What are y'all thoughts? Go ahead. I'm going to take my little moment real quick. For real.
Well, I did hear the interview and I was very disappointed to hear those words come out of her mouth as well, because it is disheartening when you are not only a legend in the game, but she also coached in the Big Three. So it's not like she doesn't have any coaching experience behind her. She's committed to the growth of the women of the WNBA, and people listen to her. Players listen to her. So she would have been a great stepping stone for the WNBA. Also, to put more people that look like us, that play the sport in those is pivotal at this juncture in the world.
Mick?
Yeah, I think it's sad. But we talked about it on this show. Like, what is going on? What's happening with the coaching staff and we just talking about women in general, but to even put Black women in it, it's like, man, we ain't even really talking about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was really sad, and it makes me wonder what the WNBA is actually looking for. And I know I felt that way after I was really saddened by Teresa Weatherspoon being fired. Like that took the air out of me a little bit. Because it felt like like I don't know what they're looking for anymore.
Right. I'll say this. They always want to call these famous Black coaches like a Cheryl Miller to coach All-Star game. But you fire Cheryl Miller from coaching, in Phoenix, you know what I mean? And y'all haven't called her for a job, but you call her for the All-Star game to come rescue. You call Lisa Leslie, to come rescue you, to show up and make an appearance here, there, everywhere else, but they're not good enough to coach the teams.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they love to put the Jumbotron on them.
Right. You know what I mean? And then I'll say this is, we got to look at how the NBA changed. How the NBA got more diversity is they started getting diversity in ownership.
Yes.
Look at the ownership. Like, look at the ownership. Like right now, the ownership in the W, we only have one Black person in ownership, and that's Dwayne Wade. He's in which he doesn't fully own the team, but with the Chicago Sky, he kind of has a little, say so, in which you had a little diversity in the Chicago Sky, right? You had the Black head coach, I forgot his name, but then after that you had Teresa Weatherspoon, all that. So Chicago's doing a great job, but guess what? You have Dwayne Wade in that office, having a voice. Everywhere else, You know, you got New York, you got Chinese people, you got Dallas. I mean, you got Oklahoma people. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody know what's in LA with LA Sparks. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, like, look at the ownership and I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon unless we can get Serena Williams to invest in a team, you know, all the, you know, LeBron invest in a team, all that. Like, we need a change in ownership if I think we're going to change diversity in head coaching. I think those two just go hand in hand.
Agreed. Teresa Weatherspoon seems pretty, I mean, at least the way she's talking about it right now is very diplomatic. She's, you know, being very much like the vibe to me. Because I think the interview, if we're talking about the same interview, because what interview were you talking about?
I was talking about the interview where she was like, I was shocked. I was just as shocked as y'all were. And, you know, she was talking about how, you know, people were reaching out to her and, you know, she felt the love and that's what she needed because she was in a, you know, depressed state. You know what I'm saying? Because of how shocked. I'm like, how do you, first of all, you're under contract. Like, how do you get shocked? Like, where that happened at? Like, I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I mean, we're talking about the same interview where she's saying, like, you know, she was talking about getting love from everybody and, really kind of feeding off that, and then how Unrivaled provided a new space, a new opportunity for her to coach. But yeah, how do you be shocked? I think it's just like any other business. You know what I mean? In corporate, at any given moment, they can be like, no, thank you, but no, thank you. And decide to pay you to go away. And so I feel like what we're seeing, and that kind of goes into what Natasha Cloud was saying as well, about her departure from Phoenix. And I guess maybe that's a good little segue. But what she was saying is like, this is a very good display of the business, you know, for y'all, if you don't know the business, like, 'cause she's like, basically, she said she was told she was going to retire in Phoenix. She was under the impression that she was going to retire out there. She picked up her family, moved out there. And so now to be sent over to Connecticut, you know, and she found out when we found out on social media. And so she's, you know, not feeling great about it. She talks about not feeling like it's hard to be loyal to an organization when they could just up and make a decision like that. And so it's the same thing. It's the business of it. And I think that's the one downside of money being good in a W right now. Because it's like now you got all these opportunists who are less passionate about the sport itself and more interested in capitalizing the monetary. So business decisions, you know. But I don't know. That Chicago Sky decision feels political to me. Just me personally. Like, I don't get the biz. I don't see how it made money sense. So to me, it had to make some other type of sense.
Right. I just don't get it. I mean, they were selling out. I mean, you know,
part because Teresa Weatherspoon was coaching. Like, I feel like they underestimated her influence too. Like, yes, you have Angel Reese. Yes, you have Camila Cardoso. But you have those things, and then you have a legend coaching.
Right.
That was part of the appeal. And I feel like they underestimated that.
Well, I mean, as well as, like, at the end of the day, Teresa Weatherspoon was fighting hella injuries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Camila Cardoso started out with an injury. What's that other post player name? She had an injury and was out the whole season. Huh?
The Chinese girl?
No, the post player, black girl.
I can't remember her name.
She started in front of Camila in the beginning. But
for some reason, I think her last name is Jackson. I could be wrong.
But she was down, and then Kennedy Carter, you know, had injuries, and then the point guard from Gary, Indiana, what's her name?
Dana
she was
Evans,
injured, so
who now plays for the Las Vegas Aces.
So Robyn
Stand up,
Mick
GI.
is from Gary, Indiana. So, and then she lives in Vegas. So she's a huge Vegas fan, Aces fan. So that's a
Couldn't be a
little
Vegas fan, like, right? Because they come from what? The Silver Star.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
But yeah, I couldn't wait to throw that into this episode. Yes, I will be absolutely getting my Dana Evans Las Vegas Aces jersey. GI stand up. That's what we doing.
Hey.
The only good thing about, I don't even know if it's good, about Teaspoon and them firing her. There's nothing good about that. But the replacement, okay, bad that it's a man, boo, right? But it is a black male, so yay.
Yeah, it's Tyler Marsh, right?
Right.
Yeah,
and
from the Aces.
He's from the Aces, a championship team mindset. But who are they getting all of these coaches from? The GOAT, Becky Hammond, right? Because even her other assistant coach got a head
Valkyries
coach's job. And that stems from who? Greg Popovich, right? Being that mentor, teaching you how to not only coach the X's and O's in a male-dominant industry, but now developing the next wave of great head coaches. That's what this whole thing is all about. And I think the league saw that with the success of Becky Hammond, then her assistant coaching staff feeding off of that success, I think they want a taste of that. And Chicago is now kind of like, we had some success with Teaspoon, but I think they did shortchange her because they just gave her one season, just a little taste of success, and then they pull the rug right underneath it. So that's not cool. I do wish Tyler Marsh the best. He does have a great players to work with, but it would be nice to see a legend, a black female coaching females, period, in this game. And we just don't do that enough because it's easy for on the NBA side, right?
Right.
It's a big deal if we get a female coach on staff, but when you reverse it, it's like, oh, it's not news, like it should be coaching. And
right.
I really think the WNBA should have a clause somewhere where it has to be like at least 50% of the team.
50% women. Yeah. Yeah.
And DEI, I don't care what you call it, but females need to be coached by females.
I mean, that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. Like the makeup, like I'm not saying there are no men who can't coach women's teams, right? And can't do it well. Yeah. We see it all the time. But I think having some type of official like makeup of what the coaching of the league should look like is good, because and I only say that because again, we talked about it on this show. Again, those same opportunities, to Robyn's point, do not exist on the other side. If it were just as easy for a woman to go coach in the NBA, I wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. But because it's not, that's what really bothers me about it. And we have to protect ourselves from ourselves in some ways and put that in there, saying the head coaching needs to be made up of this percentage, whatever the case may be. Like, protect us from us. And I say that as a society because we have internalized patriarchy. Like we have patriarchy that we don't even know we have. And so we, you know what I mean? Like it would be nice to see some type of precaution taken there, just so it's not so it doesn't become completely male dominated.
Right. I agree. Well, y'all, let's get into something that more lighter, more funner. You know what I mean? We didn't got political and went correct and everything like that. Hey, let's get into some trash talk.
I ain't got no problem.
Oh, Robyn will too. We will too. We could be on this for the next another hour. But let's talk about some NCAA games. We got March Madness around the corner, y'all.
Hey.
Around the corner. Hey. Around the corner, y'all. So down goes Frazier this week. Down goes Frazier. Okay. South Carolina lost to UT and UConn this week. They had a tough week. Okay. Then down goes Muhammad Ali, UCLA. UCLA lost to
I wasn't
USC,
expecting that. I wasn't
Watkins.
I wasn't expecting USC to win against UCLA. You know, I was like, UCLA might win the championship this year.
Well, I gotta say, you know, when UCLA and USC play each other, because it's the in-town rivalries, UCLA always, if you look at the history of it, they always choke and they lose to USC. But then when on the back end, then they'll get them back. Then UCLA will win. So I don't know why they do that, but that happens every year. They always split 1-1.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I was talking to somebody who graduated from USC, and they was like, no, like this USC versus UCLA, it's always anybody's game because it's such a big deal. You know, and then they were playing at USC.
Yep.
Then you got Sanaa Lathan, Monica showing up to the game, loving basketball. You know Juju had to show out. Come on, you got Monica showing up to the game.
And
come
Juju
on now.
Michael Jordan and Kobe all in one. And let me just tell you something about Juju. When it comes to the local representing Los Angeles, she wants everyone in that city to know Juju Watkins is LA basketball. So she put her team on her back, on her neck, and her shoulder, and carry them to the victory.
8 blocks. That's putting 9 blocks. 9 blocks.
And she only a sophomore. Yikes.
She didn't already surpassed. She didn't already surpass the 30-point game, the number of 30-point games more than Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
Let me rephrase that. Like she didn't already, like number of 30-point games Caitlin had as a sophomore versus Juju as a sophomore. She didn't already surpass Caitlin Clark in that.
Right. Well, so let me just say for the record, Caitlin Clark did her thing. However, these other female basketball players, even like Kaomi from Rutgers, is already surpassing Caitlin Clark numbers. So Caitlin Clark did a great thing. And obviously it was blown up really, really big. But there are several other basketball players that are passing Caitlin Clark numbers. Yeah. So all of those records are going to be broken real soon.
Which is good for the game.
Speaking of,
which is great.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Great. Speaking of record breaker, Paige Beckers just broke Rebecca Lobo's most all-time scoring of UConn player record when they played against South Carolina while she was announcing the game. I think it's now like Diana Taurasi, it's Maya Moore, and now it's Paige, and then it's Rebecca Lobo of all-time leading scorers for UConn. So, and Paige is predicted to surpass Diana Taurasi and Maya Moore. So she's breaking records. Mick, you know, I was talking my shit about Paige and her not being ready, but she kind of ramping up right now. She's kind of like she not there
this is
yet.
Her time. She better ramp. She better
ramping
ramp.
up.
Is she? Am I wrong? Is she not a 5th year? She better ramp. Like.
Might be a 6th year. She might have borrowed another year somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if not now, when?
Yeah.
Yo, man, she's ramping up though. Like she's like they're playing, they're getting team chemistry. You know what I mean? I don't know. I need to see a little more though. Like I feel like she hasn't taken over a game yet. You know what I'm saying? Like a takeover, like a Juju. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I want to see that. I hope she get to see that in March. Like Gino was saying, he's not playing for now. He's playing for March. Like he's building this for March. So everybody's like, you know, what's going on with UConn? He's like, it's a system. You know, certain things got to click first so that for like we preparing for when March is ready. So hopefully UConn get ready. But let's talk about what's up with South Carolina. What's going on? Did they lose their passion? I mean, you got, you know, you done made it to the Final Four back to back to back. You know, are they spilling themselves? Like, What's going on?
I think teams have been building to beat them. I think it's just hard. You know what I mean? Like, I think Dawn Staley makes it look easy. So when she's not winning, we're like, oh my God, what's going on? But really, it's like that she been winning so long. Like, people have built entire systems to beat this team. So it's I just think it's just you can't. What I don't think it's hard to do anything thrice.
It was hard for Asia Wilson.
Those days, yeah, when Gino was winning just like that, right? We all get this mentality of, oh my God, no one's ever gonna beat them. Oh my God, they're just too good. I mean, Gino didn't lose for years.
11 national championships.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and to sustain that level of excellence in the environment that they are in is extremely difficult. And everything that Dawn Staley does is micro looked at, right? Under a microscope, no matter whether she wins or lose. Even when she wins, they're still analyzing stuff, trying to find out something to the left of the radar, right? If Gino would continue to win, it's just, oh, he's the greatest coach of all times, and he's got these great athletes, blah, blah, blah. But you look at the demographics, you look at the DNA, you look at the blueprint and of what's there, and when it's Dawn Staley and they hit a speed bump, all of a sudden it's like, oh, these kids aren't passionate. Oh, they're not focused. Oh, these girls weren't ready, and that's not the case at all. Great teams lose games, and but great teams also bounce back and compete for champions.
Yeah, agreed.
Will South Carolina get to the Final Four?
Oh, I have no doubt that they'll get to the
I was
Final
going to
Four.
say, I have a hard time believing they wouldn't.
Okay.
That would shock me.
Okay. Now, what about these?
Yeah.
Huh?
Let's go on to your horns. Let's go.
What about these horns I'm representing? I'm representing for them today because they are the most. Andreas Carter said it. They are the most underrated team. People do not give the horns they respect. They have beaten top-rated teams. They have come into the SEC for the first year in Longhorn history after they done said, oh, we're not ready coming out of the Big 12 to jump into the SEC. And they are right now sitting in first place, tied in first place with South Carolina with both one loss. They done beat LSU. They done beat Kentucky. They done beat South Carolina 1-1 split. They done beat everybody else, right? Like they've only had 2 losses. They've only lost to South Carolina and Notre Dame. South Carolina and Notre Dame are their only 2 losses. Notre Dame is number 1 right now. They're hot. They're heated. Why don't UT get their respect? Yes, I get it. We'd have no 3-point shooters. So that should make it even crazier, right? And even better of giving us more respect that we are beating teams like South Carolina and we have no made 3-pointers. None.
I think it's an exposure thing. Like, I think once we get into the actual tournament, I think it's gonna be a lot of like spotlight on UT, and I think people will actually see them. But to me, it just feels like people just ain't paying attention like that to them for whatever reason.
Because they don't have a Juju or Malaysia Fulwiley or Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese.
Yeah,
they got some base. They don't have
just
McDonald's All-Americans.
You know what I mean? It's just a good team. It's not like there's not like a ton of swagger on it. I think the coach got some swag, but
it's a good team. Yeah, go ahead, Robyn.
He recruits to where there's usually, even when he was at Mississippi State, he had, I think at the time, if I'm not mistaken, Rakia Jackson, but like the way he recruits is everybody is cohesive. Everybody plays a major role here and there. And so he doesn't have like you said, like the Jujus or the Paige Beckers, but he's got the Rory Harmon who just worked her butt off since she's been at Texas to make a name for herself, come back from an injury and do some great things. He's got like who was that girl from Florida?
Taylor. Olga. I call her Olga. Big O.
Big O. You've got Jordan Codillo. Like, he's got some pieces that are great players and they're great role players, but on any given night, any of them can step up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Step up. Unlike South Carolina, she's got a bunch of players that can step up, right? So you got like everybody can be a superstar on South Carolina's team, but they know they're superstars. At Texas, they just coming in, hey, they chopping wood, carrying water, they getting the job done, and they go home, they come back, chop wood, carry water.
So wait a minute, devil's advocate here.
Okay.
So Madison Booker is not a superstar when she is up for National Player of the Year. Madison Booker is not a superstar. Oh, we quiet. We quiet.
Okay, so
she's
here's
up
the
for
thing.
National Player of the Year.
I think she's an accomplished player. She don't. The star power though is not there. Like, I think she's a fantastic player, but so are a whole lot of other people that don't get no shine. Like the star power, the it factor.
Now they keep winning. Madison Booker is going to be now a name that we talk about constantly, like a Flage, like a Juju, even an AZ Fudd. Like, it just, Madison Booker is extremely talented, extremely skilled, confident player, but she's just not. I don't want to say she's not star quality, because she is a star in her own right. Don't get me wrong. She is a star in her own right.
Yeah.
I think once Texas keeps winning, as they keep winning, let me not say once they keep, but as they keep winning, because they will keep winning, because Vic is that. He's an amazing coach in my eyes. Her stock is going to rise, and her notoriety is going to rise as well with the team success.
Yeah,
she's only a sophomore.
Like it's giving Horace Grant. You
know,
before you got Horace Grant with, you know, the 95 Bulls, was it 95? Like, you know, but Horace Grant, that's Horace Grant. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's the same situation.
That's crazy. You hit me with that one. Like
we all know that's a great player, but.
And if we keep waiting, while y'all talking about Texas, if we keep waiting, we see what the number one player in the country gonna do. You put her with Madison Booker, we got us a show.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. But like you said, right? Stars don't really go to Texas.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now,
Stars don't go. So this would be huge, because Texas hasn't had a McDonald's All-American, a star, since what? The 90s. I mean, I need to Google that, fact check that, you know. I'll rescind that. You know, you don't have to delete it, Mick. I'll just say I rescind it. But I mean, can't nobody, you know, like, we all stuck. Like, who was the last superstar that played for UT? We could say Kevin Durant, but that's on the boys' side. Like, girls, who's the last superstar? Who's the last McDonald's All-American that went to UT and showed out on the girls' side? Like, we can't think. So superstars is uncommon, unfortunately, for UT, but I don't understand why they can't land one. Because they got the money.
Oh, boy, they got the money.
They got the money. But real quick, moving on for time's sake, you know, we're going to talk about this, roll out and get out of here. But Notre Dame is rolling. They just beat the crap out of Duke tonight. You know, Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles, like, they just got the right recipes, and they just keep cooking with grease, extra oil, vinegar, all that. Like, I mean, Notre Dame is looking really, really, really good.
I believe I said that at the top of the season. I could
you
be
did,
wrong,
and you did, you did.
Yeah, they look really good. I'm always excited to see a good Notre Dame team, being from Indiana. But yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So
a fan for sure.
You a Notre Dame fan?
Definitely.
Yeah. So we gotta say we wrapping up. We about to have Final Four, coming up. Give me your Final Four. Give me your Final Four, Robyn. Who's going to Final Four?
UCLA, Notre Dame, South Carolina, and I got to throw UConn in there.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, Mick.
All right, so South Carolina. How are things divided? Can we have LSU and South Carolina in the Final Four at the same time?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because I'm actually looking at a top 16 reveal from NCAA Women Championship. They actually played it during the games this weekend. I'm gonna just give y'all this, like in the first bracket tier region, you got UCLA and LSU in the same bracket, so both of them can't make it to the Final Four.
Yeah, that's
right.
That yeah.
Number 1 and 2, and then you got UCLA, LSU, Duke, and Tennessee. Everybody should be going with UCLA, right? So that's 1. Then you got South Carolina, North Carolina State, TCU, and Oklahoma, right? Everybody's picking South Carolina, right? Then you got Notre Dame, USC, Kansas State, and Kentucky. Notre
Dame's coming out of that, yeah.
Notre Dame. And then you got Texas, UConn, North Carolina, and Ohio State. So according to Robyn, she going with you. Texas, UConn, North Carolina, and Ohio State.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Texas and UConn, that's gonna be tough.
I was gonna say that's gonna be crazy.
So Texas can make the Final Four this year. Y'all sleep on my Texas.
I think Texas might be able to pull that quote unquote upset off. But I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to the Final Four Elite Eight, Gino goes in his
bag.
Muhammad Ali bag. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. He be coming getting teams. Like,
man.
But it's late in the season. I honestly have to say he is one of the more prepared teams because he's done it so many times.
Mm-hmm.
From the mental performance to the muscle recovery to how they travel. Like, he prepares his team. Like you said earlier in the show, hey, it's about what we're going to do in our system. And his system is so tight that he gets to that Elite Eight and Final Four time and time again.
Man. Well, we're gonna end it on that. We're gonna end it on that, Mick.
All right.
And everything. Robyn, tell us where we can look you up, find you, what's next for you, what you got cooking, and give out your socials.
And I need your contact information because the way my ankle be hurting sometimes when I work out needs to be discussed. No, but tell everybody where they can look you up at.
So to look me up, everything is Gray Fit Training. So that's GRAYFIT Training. Whether it's Instagram, it's Gray Fit Training. Well, it's actually 2.0 because they stole the first one. If it's Twitter, it's Gray Fit Training. If it's LinkedIn, it's Gray Fit Training. If it's TikTok, it's Gray Fit Training. Snapchat and Facebook, it's Gray Fit Training. You can't go wrong with it.
We love a brand.
Gray Fit Training. And my website is www.grayfittraining.com as well. Keep it simple. I'm right here in North Dallas, located right by the Galleria Mall and Tollway. And I look forward to working with any and everyone that needs muscle recovery or wants to get stronger, faster, and better.
I love it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Mimi,
ma'am.
tell everybody where to find you on social media.
Oh, find me on social media. That's Coach J. Green. You have to use the dot, Coach J. Green on Instagram, as well as Coach J. Green on Twitter. Bow.
And of course, I am Ask for Mick on all platforms. And this show is the Women's Basketball Lounge podcast. If you're listening to it, you already know where to find it. But tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend and bring a friend. That's all we got this week. See y'all soon. Peace.
Bye.